We are glad that you have stayed tuned to this particular episode. I promised you two wonderful sets of guests. That second promise is about to be delivered on right now. We have with us Lexen Sternberg and Jean King, and they are involved with the Lakeshore Earth Day Committee. Welcome to Lakeshore Living.
Thanks. Thank you.
I don't know how many times I can say Lakeshore, but it's all in there. So thank you for joining us on here. And we've got some really great things to talk about, and not only the organization, but the things that you have happening. But before we go there, would you indulge us and just give us a little bit about yourself? And Jean, how about you? Let's start with you.
Well, I was born and raised in Grand Haven and traveled and did some work in Iowa at Grinnell College and in Green Bay, and I've done a lot of camp directing, outdoor education, outdoor activities all my life. And I spent 10 years with the Girl Scouts in Alaska.
Wow.
So
you've been all over.
Pretty much an outdoor interest, and want to get people plugged in with their feelings for the earth and for being caretakers.
Great. And you started in Grand Haven and circled different places and landed back where you started.
You bet. Lake Michigan called me.
It did. We were just talking about how this is really a magnet for some people to grow up and to come back to. So
right.
Good. And Lexen, how about yourself?
Well, I was also born and raised in Grand Haven, and I do a lot of stuff with music in the Grand Haven area. I started up a group called the Grand Haven Music Scene. So we host, it's getting to the point where it's about one show a week now.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's getting fun. It's giving the kids something to do, which is always helpful. So that's always my expertise in this whole Earth Day event. But I'm also a huge environmentalist. About 3 or 4 years ago, I melted down my car, and I haven't looked back since. So I've been riding my bike just about everywhere I go.
All year round?
Yeah, all year round. A lot of people ask me, they're like, well, when do you stop riding your bike? I'm like, you can just keep riding your bike.
Keep riding your bike.
So I was, when I heard about these guys doing this Earth Day celebration thing, I thought, sounds like something I want to be a part of.
Great. Well, Jean, tell us, I understand you are the founder or started this Earth. Tell us a little bit about Grand Haven Earth Day and the celebration that we're coming up on. Well,
there are a lively group of people connected with what now is called C3. It was Christ Community Church. And I gathered some of them together that wanted to help people share a celebration for the earth and all the gifts that it gives us, and also to educate each other about projects and businesses and things that we could take advantage of that are working on trying to make life a little healthier for all of us. And so we got busy 1 year, and then the next year another woman there, Connie Wittes, kind of took the chairmanship and has been running the ship, so to speak, for the last 4 years. And Leslie Newman is doing it this year, and it's a group of just interested people from organizations and businesses and just individuals who come together once a month in the fall and get things going, and then we kind of drop off until January. And now that it's time almost for the event, we meet bi-weekly and help each other. And it's a low-cost activity that we hope all the families in the community can participate in.
Great. And as you talk about an activity and the event itself, tell me a little bit more on what you're referencing.
Well, we started out with a picnic and workshops on gardening and composting and things like that. And then we broadened out from there, and it became a fair. So we have a lot of businesses and organizations who come and have a table or have an activity for people to do. There are games for kids. I would say there are churches involved, like the First Christian Reformed Church does recycling of metal.
Okay.
And Goodwill is also there, recycling TVs and computers and showing people about low-cost fashions.
Okay.
And there's just all kinds of things happening. This year, one of the neat things that's going to be at the fair is the Coopersville High School students in physics, I think, have an electric car. So
No
that'll be
kidding.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
Home Depot has a lot of plants in a giveaway, and they come all dressed up and are in our parade or our march. So it's quite an interesting mix of people.
Yeah. Well, and then Lexen, where do you fit in all of this? I mean, that's a eclectic number of activities and such, and you with your passion for being earth friendly and
Well, I first got involved just as a band because there was this earth rock event that I had nothing to do with, and I thought, well, that sounds like fun. So I signed my band up, and we all had a good time. I feel like at least a few people enjoyed listening to us. So I played, what was it? Yeah, 2009. And then 2010, I also played. But then this year, Yvonne contacted me and says, you know, you host a lot of shows. How about we just put Earth Rock in your lap, and we'll see how that goes. So then,
wow.
Yeah, so then now I'm in charge of making sure everything goes right. As I always say, if there's a problem, someone's looking at me. But then I've also been involved with just the general planning and deciding what happens when and all that. That's been a real treat for me.
Yeah. Well, then tell me a little bit more about. So you've got a band. When you say that Earth Rock, I mean, I love the shirt you're sporting there with the logo and everything.
Yep.
Oh, and it looks like we've got a little bit that's showing there on the screen as we talk here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, where does that fit in? I mean, is that an extension of this event? Kicks off this event?
Yeah.
Embedded in?
I guess you would say it kicks it off,
Right.
because it's the night before. But yeah, it's basically just a bunch of bands, musicians, and poets. Nice to have a good mix, especially for this. So we asked everyone does environmentally themed music, environmentally themed poems, and all that. And for the past 3 years, we've had a different venue every year.
Okay.
So that's been fun. But this time, we're going to do it at the Grand Haven Elks, which is where I host a lot of my shows. So that was a really good fit. And the people at the Elks have been wonderful. They're absolutely a delight to work with. But yeah, we're getting a lot of great bands. Breathing Zephyr is the local heroes of Grand Haven.
Oh,
They're
cool.
the up-and-coming stars. So they're going to bring just about anybody that can fit into the building. But it's a free event, which is awesome. There's a suggested donation of $5, but that is optional for people who are just looking to check out what's going on. It's from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock, so it's just a nice 3-hour show. And not a whole lot to...
Did we say the date?
Oh, I'm sorry, April 15th.
April 15th.
Yep, because
Okay.
it's before the other events, which are on the 16th, and Earth Rock is on Friday, and then the other events are on Saturday.
Okay. Now, I mean, if I'm a band out there or a poet, can I still jump in and get involved, or
Yes,
is the list
yes.
already full?
No, the list is not full. You could email me, which is just Lexen1, so Lexen, and then the number 1 at gmail.com. I host a lot of shows in Grand Haven, so if they don't fit on Earth Rock, I'm sure we can find a spot for them.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
that kicks it off, and you've got a variety of different, I mean, I saw a flyer here, and wow, can I just say, it's not like this is just going to be, you know, one little get-together and hurrah, and then we're on our way. I mean, there's just a whole ton of things happening. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, we kick off the day at about noon with a march around town. It's not a very long route, but it's enough for everybody who wants to show off their concern for taking care of the world and having a good time to come. We had a bunch of kids from the high school last year who they weren't an official band, but they brought their instruments and they played.
Oh, cool.
And we had people walking their dogs, and we had kids on skateboards, and we had mom and dads with their little ones in tow. Anyway, we end up at the community center and the Central Park, which is right across the street, and the vendors and the booths are inside mostly, but there's activity outside too, and so that goes on until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. It
And-
will be shine, but just
Oh, yes.
in case.
We've ordered sun every year, and we've been lucky every year. So, third weekend in April is a good weekend.
It is.
We have entertainers. Carol Johnson has been with us every year, actually. She's a singer-songwriter from Grand Rapids. She works a lot in the public schools and is an uplifting, what do I want to say, a person who cares about kids and how they feel about themselves and cares about the world and how kids think about their partnership with the planet. So she will be
Fabulous.
singing. We're going to probably have a video from Chris Bedford, who's one of the founders of Sweetwater Market, which is organic foods up midway between Muskegon and Grand Haven. He has some videos on organizing in Battle Creek for local community gardens. That's very interesting and something that all of us could do. So
Yeah.
we'll probably have that, and we'll have some skits and some tomfoolery, no doubt, on the stage. Kid and family activities will be anything from using the big parachute and having a good time with that to, last year we had kids decorating recycled bags for grocery shopping, and it's hard to tell. The North Ottawa Recreation Authority will have some activities, and there'll be kids from C3, and there'll be kids from the junior high.
Okay.
So
Well, I saw something here on yoga as well. Is that there's something
I forgot
happening?
that. That's new this year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that'll be right before the parade starts, and it.
Well, that'll be nice. You can kind of get warmed up and
Yeah.
stretched out.
Right.
And
Right. We're encouraging people to bring their family, and everybody can participate.
uh-huh.
So
And that's outdoor then? That's at the Grand Haven Community
if
Center?
it's hot, yes.
Okay.
If it's not hot, we can always do it inside.
Okay.
So there's space in the community center.
And everything that you've mentioned, I keep hearing my favorite four-letter word, and that's free. And so it
Yeah.
sounds like it's free, but this is also not only to create awareness, but also to create some funding for the activities that you do. So, come with your dollars or your checkbook, I'm assuming, if you'd like to be able to give a donation.
That's always welcome, but we really, we usually get our donations up front.
Okay.
So we never spend what we think we have to spend. There's always somebody, you come along and they say, well, we don't have to charge that much, so they lower the price, and we want it to be available to everybody. So there will be a food booth, and they are Lucy's Market, or Deli, and they're right downtown in Grand Haven, and they're going to bring just healthy foods. So probably
Great.
little containers of fruit and various things like that.
Oh, wonderful. That's
So-
Lucy's Deli, you said.
Lucy's Deli,
That's
yep,
their kind of focus is healthy foods, and
right.
great.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a full couple of days. And
Yes, it is.
you may have mentioned this, and perhaps I blinked, but how many years has this been going on?
I think this is the 6th year.
6th year.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you go from here?
Year 7. I don't
Great
know.
answer.
Yeah. Yeah. We started just with a picnic, and now we have quite a few other things.
Yeah.
And
Am I looking at the planning committee, or are there others that are involved in this as well?
oh gosh, I would say there's a kind of a core of a big dozen
Uh-huh.
people, and there are probably another 3 dozen people who help in their own way whenever the time is right.
Yeah.
So, and people come and go, but some of
Yeah.
us keep coming.
Many hands make light work, as they
Right,
say.
right.
Sure do.
Fantastic. Anything else that you want to share that we haven't brought to the attention of our audience in terms of awareness or activities or opportunities?
Well, I'd like to point out that we have a Facebook, because that's the
Good.
thing. So if you just search for Lakeshore Earth Day Celebration, we'll
Uh-huh.
be there, and that lays out all the events, who's attending, when everything is, how you can get involved, all those things. So it should be a nice little hub for us to communicate.
Good. That will help.
We have Spread the Music has been there every year, and they are an organization that collects old instruments or music or anything to do with making music, and they recondition it if it needs it, and they pass it on to anybody that wants, mostly kids who would like to learn to play an instrument. So they'll be there, and
And they could take that into the march as well, it sounds like.
Yep, right. So there's a real variety of activities and something for everybody to learn about.
Great.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Well, Jean, I can see that you're very passionate about this topic. Even throughout your life, I can see that has been touch points, whether it's in Alaska or many other ways. And we honored the work that you're doing. It's fabulous. And Lexen, you as well.
Well, thanks.
Really getting a lot of people engaged and aware, and this is fantastic. Fantastic. Is there a website they can go to? I mean, obviously Facebook you've got coming up.
I
And
don't think we have anything besides the Facebook, do we?
Well, Wetland Watch is our fiduciary partner, and they have a website. So wetlandwatch.org, I think it is, and they have information how to get in touch with us.
Great. Great.
So.
Anything else that you can think of that you want to make sure our audience is aware of, or come on out, or
Well, let's see. We could use some horses in our march, couldn't we?
could you?
Come on out with your
Anybody has
animals, or bring your dogs or your kids, and come on out to the march and the fair.
And what time is that march again?
The march, we gather at noon and we go at 12:30, and we're at the fair by 1.
Okay.
So.
All right. Nice and good time to get up and get going there. Bring your horse and bring your own pooper scooper, I'm guessing. So we don't get in trouble with the city or anything like that. So. Well, I can't thank you both enough. And this is April 15 is the Earth Rock, and that's from 7 to 10 at Elks Lodge on 3rd Street in Grand Haven. And it's also music as well as poets.
Yes.
Okay. And then on the 16th, we've got yoga at 10:30, and the march starts at 12, or lining up and
Right.
head on out there. And then an Earth Day fair at the Grand Haven Community Center, it looks like.
Right.
Thank you both. I mean, this is something to be applauded, and we want to make sure we get as many people out there as possible. And do you have a target number you're aiming for?
No, we don't.
No,
we
just
don't.
the more the merrier.
more the merrier.
More the merrier. Great. Well, thank you both for
Thank
coming
you.
on to Lakeshore
thank you.
Living. It's a delight to have you on here, and such a fun topic, but an important topic as well. So we appreciate that. And with that, we want to thank you, our viewers of Lakeshore Living. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate your comments and your suggestions here. If you see us walking the streets or out shopping, stop us, let us know what you think, give us your ideas, contact us here at Mac Media. And until next time, we again invite you to get involved in this incredible community that we have. There's so much going on. There's so many different opportunities. And the best way to really make a contribution is be personally present in some of these activities that we present to you. So stay tuned until next time. Be well, be safe, and keep watching Mac Media. And